Hey everybody! Hi and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, because today's tea, it's scorching. Picture being married for decades, only to find out you were never loved. That's precisely what Sister Wives cast member Kody Brown is now alleging in a stunning admission that has left fans, and even his own relatives, dumbfounded. On a candid, tear-filled interview with TLC, Kody makes the type of declaration that can break years of memories. "I never really loved my former wives." You read that correctly. Mary, Christine, Janelle, all supposedly unloved, as if their marriages never mattered, and the world not buying it. Not even Robyn, the so-called sole wife, seems fully convinced. During a tense tell-all hosted by Sukanya Krishnan, the Brown family sat down to confront the cracks that have split them apart, and what spilled out was raw pain, denial, and a whole lot of emotional wreckage. Mary responded with calm heartbreak. "It's fine if he doesn't want to admit he loved me, but just own up to it. You did, at least for a time. We all second guess." But Kody doubled down. He said if Mary could pretend she loved him, he could pretend too. That's not only mean, it's dismissive, and Mary wasn't having it. Her hurt was legitimate, their past erased. Even Robyn, usually Kody's emotional ballast, appeared to wince at his take on things. She couldn't muster herself to affirm his assertion that he was simply operating out of pain and anger, because anger distorts truth, and that's what appears to be occurring. Kody maintains he's not rewriting history. He's merely being honest about how he felt when they broke up. But honest or not, the fans are asking, is this clarification or merely a convenient revision? Let us not forget the timeline. Christine left in 2021, Janelle and Mary soon after, now Kody and Robyn alone. Living what used to be a polygamous dream, now a monogamous shadow of what once was. In a recent interview with Janelle was gracious, but the space is clear. "I suppose I could still be friends with Kody," she said. "But Robyn? We never even talked." And just like that, the cracks are no longer buried, they're the narrative. But as the interview continued, Janelle's song changed slightly. "Honestly, I don't really want to know them," she acknowledged. "But I don't feel hate or resentment. I could sit down and have a conversation with them as long as it remains surface level." That's where she'd draw the line. In her own words, "I don't see us being friends, and that's okay. Fans of the show get it." Janelle was treated like a second-class citizen for years. She even wrote, "I don't need it. I'm not interested. I'm just not going to be friends with them or go out to lunch with them." When asked if she still believed deep love was possible, Janelle didn't hold back. "I'm not out there searching for it," she said. "I just don't like them. I'd rather not have anything to do with them." Most of all, Janelle Brown wants a fresh start. And frankly, that is completely understandable. All of the children from her union with Kody are adults now. They get to make their own choice as to how they relate to their dad. Their son's funeral was probably the last time Janelle probably had to talk with Kody. At length was before she departed for North Carolina, where she's now running a farm with her daughter. That relocation meant departing Flagstaff and also entailed leaving behind any remaining attachments with Kody. Basing everything on trying to remain the same and clinging to any kind of relationship with Kody, it's simply not worth it. The polygamous patriarch is so entrenched in his own reality that he cannot envision a future without placing the blame on someone else. He will not take responsibility for his role in the breakups and will probably always blame his first 3 wives for walking away. Janelle has already accepted the fact that if she had gotten to know Kody better, she too could have left. "If I'd had a year of knowing Kody, I'm literally not sure I would have married him," she admitted during part 1 of the tell-all. Instead of being stuck in a poisonous relationship, Janelle has used that hurt and made it fuel, moving forward on a new path, one that doesn't glance back. There have simply been too many falsehoods from Robyn, from Kody. Seeing the sister wives expose secrets left Janelle incensed. Before arriving on set for the special, Kody even asked Robyn if she was ready for what was ahead. Her reply, "I'd rather have a root canal." Robyn and Kody consistently dodged questions they didn't want to answer. TLC viewers quickly picked up on it and were outraged. Once again, it looked like they were getting off easy. Even with the host badgering the other women for truthful responses, Robyn openly dodged any question she didn't wish to answer. More infuriating than her dishonesty, however, was the cycle of dishonesty. Kody and Robyn have lied so much. That's the real horror story. Even Robyn's subsequent admission that the filmed video was hard to watch didn't sit quite right with viewers. Fortunately, a lot of viewers called out the glaring hypocrisy. As for Janelle, she's had enough. Years of mounting frustrations and growing dishonesty have left her beyond the point of caring. She's walked away. She's not looking back. She's got a new life, and she knows she's no longer bound to endure any of it. It's refreshing, honestly, to know that Janelle isn't going to waste another moment of her time or energy on them. But it's pretty clear that Kody and Robyn will be thinking about her decision to leave for a long time to come. Have you ever been so hurt or so overwhelmed that rather than confronting the pain, you simply blocked it out? Pretended it never occurred? Attempted to make yourself believe it wasn't real? Many people do. It's a type of emotional protection, particularly when relationships are broken with heartbreak. And just recently, one of the men at the center of a very public plural marriage demonstrated exactly this pattern, downplaying the intensity of his previous emotions toward his former wives, those closest to him who shared his life and his vows. They do not believe him, not even the single remaining wife still on his arm. In a raw, emotionally charged sit-down interview conducted by an experienced TV journalist, the family gathered to lay out the years of unresolved tension, betrayals, and broken love. The common thread throughout it all, the man's insistence that his emotions for his ex-wives were never equal, and in his own words, never even that deep. He appeared so serene with the pandemonium that perspective brought, wholeheartedly accepting the notion that loving people differently and less is simply life. But not one of the women who had been by his side didn't let that spin go unchallenged. She confronted it directly. Her heartache was not necessarily about their split. It was about the denial of what they used to have. "Even he can't say that he really loved me," she stated softly, but with unmistakable certainty. "I don't get it. Why can't he just say that he did and that his feelings changed over time?" That happens. Her words go to the very heart of what so many experience in troubled relationships. The befoolment, the sorrow, and the pain of denied love in hindsight. She spoke to the hurt of being belittled, the pain of hearing another alter your mutual past, and not for the first time. This man has had a long-standing practice of talking without entirely thinking through the emotional consequence. Again, in this intricate network of relationships, he's made statements that surprised even those around him most intimately. At one point, he even proposed to pretend to love his partner so that it would bring her joy. But she told him that sort of pretend affection wasn't healthy or welcome, brushing off their shared history by stating that it was never really real or special wounds his ex-wives just as badly as the breakup does. Because when a person disbelieves in true love, it's not simply the end of a relationship. It's a blow to the basis of memories of lives previously entwined. What's even more surprising is that even his current girlfriend isn't completely on board with the tale he's weaving. Yes, The woman still at his side today has resisted his stern judgment of the past. She thinks his outbursts are driven by anger and sorrow, sentiments powerful enough to blur your vision and distort reality. She said that when you're deeply emotional, anger can lead you to say something that's out of proportion, vicious, or downright false. And that's something real. The emotional destruction that tends to come after the collapse of passionate long-term relationships, particularly ones as complex and complicated as plural marriages. In the midst of all the commotion, there was a silence, an unusual moment of truth. He confessed that his assertions, the ones where he claimed he never really loved his former wives, weren't based on reality, but rather came from where he was emotionally following the breakups. "I was trapped in the storm of the breakups," he told her, "but I wasn't trying to redo the past." When you're confused and in pain, it's easy to tell yourself that maybe the love wasn't ever real. That was my way of surviving. That admission informs us about the complicated emotional coping devices individuals employ after heartbreak. They attempt to avoid hurting, even if it means manipulating the facts, at least for a while. The breakup started gradually, years of balancing multiple marriages with one relationship dissolving followed by the others. And now he is in an entirely different existence, monogamous, committed to a single partner. But he swears loudly that the love he has for his current wife is not only different, but more profound and stronger than anything he ever experienced before. Just like people love their children in a different way from how they love their friends, he contends, not all love is intended to be felt equally. In frustration boiling over, he snapped, "I'm sick of being blamed for loving the one person I love most." And honestly, don't most people feel more intensely connected to some than others? But this sort of confession raises a much larger question, one that's difficult to respond to in a multi-partner dynamic. Is it even possible to love everyone equally? Can love actually be meted out evenly, or does that just diminish the other relationships at stake? For those who've seen this polygamous clan come apart piecemeal, the solution is anything but clear-cut. Fond old recollections are now intertwined with new hurt. Emotional truth has little to do with easy reasoning, because when love and resentment coexist, things are complicated. And obviously, love and anger have both been behind a great deal of what's been said and done. Humans strike out when they hurt. They throw words out there that are intended as defense, but sometimes those words wound even more deeply than the original hurt. In this instance, the man's effort to emotionally distance himself from his previous marriages has merely contributed to the bereavement and unhappiness felt by the women who loved him, and now the family is faced with the task of going on healing without the necessity for closure. It's still fragile. It's still in process. The lady who fought tooth and nail to preserve the marriage has now spoken about her pain. She only seeks peace, some form of emotional validation. His present wife remains steadfast by his side, but even she realizes how complex the emotions are. She knows that sympathy is required more than ever now. As for the man, he's left to face the consequences of the words he's spoken, some meant to shield himself, others that might have scarred the people he once vowed to love. For over a decade, fans of the hit reality series chronicling this large plural family have watched one woman in particular rise as the grounded center through the chaos. She was always the voice of reason, the sane one, the down-to-earth rock in the storm. She had always been regarded as the family backbone, emotionally stable, financially reliable, frequently depicted to be receiving a degree of respect and affection from the family patriarch that wasn't always extended to other individuals. Her calm but firm presence acted as the glue that kept things together. But with the family structure now broken and her marriage formally dissolved, this woman has been forced to pose a tough question to herself. Is it even worth attempting to be on good terms with her ex-husband and the woman he currently resides with? Confronting the whispers of the past. In a recent on-TV sit-down, with the intention of extracting honest responses from both sides, she was asked if she believed it was possible to be on good terms with both her ex and his current girlfriend. At first, she replied with the same dignity she's consistently demonstrated. She conceded that due to their extensive past history, she could likely get along with her ex. But when it came to his partner, she was straight with him. There had never been a genuine connection in the first place. As the discussion became more in-depth, her tone changed from diplomatic to blunt. She stated straight out, there was no hatred, no bitterness remaining. She just didn't want them around anymore. It's not about holding a grudge, she explained. I just don't see a reason to continue in their lives. Setting the boundary between friendly and civil. She set a definite boundary. If they were at a social event and ran into each other, being friendly wouldn't be a problem. Small talk is innocuous, but a real friendship, that door is shut. For viewers who have seen her suffer for years with emotional instability, disparity, and disregard, this choice was no shock. In fact, it was affirming. Since she broke with the venomous situation, she's thrived, particularly in real estate. Honestly, I don't require their support. I'd just simply rather not be around them, she explained. And when pressed on whether there was a chance of rekindling any kind of emotional bond, even a coffee date or heart-to-heart conversation, she was firm as ice. That's not something I want anymore. Honestly, I just don't like them, and I'd rather keep my distance, choosing a fresh start over old wounds. Her words drew a vision of a woman willing to take back her peace, to forge a new life, unmarred by the upheaval of the past. In practical terms, there's no need to remain in touch. Her children are grown. They've established their own relationship with their father, and there's no longer a need to maintain old connections. The final significant family gathering that she may have needed to attend has already passed. She's been gone from the home they once shared for a long time now, and now lives in a distant state, farming with one of her daughters. This physical and emotional distance is indicative of something greater, a transformation as an individual. A woman who has released past traumas and instead cultivated growth, independence, and healing, freedom through release. It is not easy to leave behind relationships that no longer support your own well-being. Her ex-husband, meanwhile, is still spinning his own tale, one in which he hardly ever, if ever, takes responsibility for the failure of his plural marriages. Instead of addressing his role in the dysfunction, he keeps deflecting, blaming those who left. Looking back on the marriage, she spoke with a quiet, fierce regret. If I had just a little time to really know who he truly was, I don't think I would have married him. Now, rather than holding on to a poisoned past, she's directing her energy towards something positive, a fresh start. She has no desire to look back. The path ahead is broad, open, and bright with possibility. The final blow, evasion, and lies. Last week's TLC special was particularly infuriating to longtime viewers of this family's path. He and his now-so-last wife seemed utterly ill-prepared for tough questions. Just before cameras began rolling, he asked her if she was ready, and her answer was less than spirited. She compared the experience to a root canal. During the sit-down, the couple always sidestepped awkward questions, obviously not wanting to provide honest answers. Dedicated fans picked up on it, and they were angry. As the host coaxed the former wives to be open and honest, this couple wouldn't own up again, skirting the truth. When the lies add up to many, the most appalling aspect wasn't so much the evasiveness, but the years of dishonesty that came before. Although his current girlfriend conceded that some of the video was disturbing, the harm was already done. Years of deception finally caught up to it, not only for viewers, but for the woman who left. She's done playing games with gaslighting and manipulation. She selected calm over turmoil, truth over deceit, self-esteem over reliance. She's out, and she's never returning. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for news on all the stunning turns and surprises from your favorite reality TV families.